let me ask Shanker, because he's driving Nicer Globe for ICC. So if you can talk about your experiences with the chemical companies. You have got a good number of chemical companies who have become your partners, or you have given them Nicer Globe logo.
Yeah.
So how many of them, and what is your experience with them with respect to safety measures for chemical storage and transportation? So if you can.
So thank you, Pravin. I think, am I audible? Thank you. Right. Supply chain is always about lean, right? So it works well for us, right? Thank you. Yeah. So the thing is, I think most of us would be knowing about Nicer Globe here. And so for those who do not know, perhaps I'll just give a brief. Nicer Globe is an initiative of the chemical industry and the Indian Chemical Council to build a strong processes and practices in the logistics sector of the member companies. So basically, we work around in terms of building processes and practices, right? So, let's face it, I think, this theme of the conference is transforming to a new better, right? So when we say that, it's something, we have a choice whether we can do it ourselves or we can do it together, right? And the idea of Nicer Globe is to bring all the best minds together and build ownership to the task which they take it, and ensure that they comply to that. Sustainability is something which is a key, which all of us are aware of. So it's not about a good practice which is being developed by a organization or an organization. It is a good practice which is not only for that company, but also for across the industry. And this is not something which, which can be done by one. So it's not an individual effort, it's a collaborative. It's an inclusiveness. So to get this collaboration and inclusiveness, probably what we need is a change in the mindset, For instance, I can just run, to give few examples. The digital transaction which we all do today, few years back, we were not even thinking about it. But then the point is today it has become a norm. It's become an acceptable practice for us. In the supply chain, if I have to say that in the planning process, probably we adopted technology pretty well. And so today, probably in terms of, we talk about visibility, we talk about inventory, optimization, etc. But when it comes to the logistics, perhaps we are still look at only in the terms of a cost and the benefit of the cost, which on an annual basis, which we talk about. Instead, if you talk about efficiency, and instead if you talk about bringing effective services, just not for me, for across the industry, that's a change which is what probably will transform us to a new better. And that's what perhaps Nicer Globe is trying to do and trying to achieve for the industry. And today we have about 80 odd companies and 1,200 plus transporters, some 300 technology service providers. All of them are evaluated, and there is a benchmark which we set for ourselves, and make sure that. Also, one more thing which we can say, when you have such a huge database, you can always leverage on the database. You can try to take advantage to get the better benefit for all of us. So from that point of view, the initiative, as we all went for a BPR, we need to think in terms of logistics also, in terms of a community platform, and make sure that the community platform is being take the advantage of the community platform to make it for the better. That's what I think. Yeah.
Sir, if somebody takes membership of Nicer Globe, there are many companies who are not your members, but what all benefits that you provide them so that it becomes attractive for them to join?
Yeah.
And it helps ICC in terms of reducing what we can say mishaps or incidents. So if you can talk about briefly about that, that will definitely help all the delegates out here.
Thank you. This is a free sales pitch which is allowing me to do. Right, thank you. Okay. So, you said who are not my members, they are my prospective members.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So, Nicer Globe, if more and more members come in, it means, okay, let's talk about the benefits. The benefit is about getting the best practices across the industry. We get to access it. We don't need to go through the learning curve, which we have to go through otherwise. One, the best practices are already available with us. Second, as I said, I have 1200 plus transporters, and these 1200 plus transporters are not, I mean, we rate and rank them in terms of their performances, and that is available for everybody. So you can access that. You know, I mean, I can tell you which transporter does well. Okay, I'll just give you one example. I think I shared with yesterday. This happened latest yesterday, 11 o'clock at 9:30. We heard a incident that had happened in Chennai of a truck, and there was a spill, and driver fled. A passerby had called our in Nicer Globe toll-free number, and he said that this is the incident, and we do not know. So what we flashed this message across the industry to the members of us to say that where this meant. This is what we came to know. We do not know the product because it's not part of our platform. We do not know, the vehicle is not in our system, so, but we have this data. So if you could come back to us, it would be helpful. 9:30 the incident happened, 10:15 we flashed, 11 o'clock we came to know the company.
It really depends. Now, it depends on the scale of the company and how important is their drivers. For example, certain drivers, certain companies who are into petrochemical, let's say petrochemicals, they have to be very skilled. And of course, when you're getting skilled drivers, you have to pay them enough, right? You have to incentivize them. But what we, from our end, we are doing is every quarter, based on the scorecard which we have a clear visibility, we send them some goodies from our end, right? For example, t-shirt or something where bags where they're carrying, for example, a lot of drivers have more than 24, 48 hours of journey, right? So we send them something which they can use it on a regular basis. So that is something which we are trying to do. At the same time, what we tell our clients also is that please try to incentivize in manner where they remember that why was I incentivized? I might have made 10 mistakes, but my 2 mistakes which I have not made have saved an incident, right? And that is clearly on the video. Nobody is going to question that. There is no question of partiality. There is no question of somebody trying to, "Arey, ye uska dost hai," ya buttering, or no anything. Nothing is there. So everything is in the system. So you are able to say, okay, you are doing good. This is the proof. You might need improvement. You might need training. This is the proof. So everything is right in front of you.
Is there any range of turnover and net profit of the company which can be invested on incentivizing and training of drivers?
Dilip ji, again, it's totally up to a company. That is totally depending on what they feel is important for the logistics.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is to Mr. Shanker Kuppuswamy. Sir, while you suggested that there should be a recognition program for drivers, and I fully second that, it would be really nice if there are few recognition program for transporters as well across industry. While many companies do it for their vendors, across industries these don't happen. In fact, my wish list will go even further, that anybody who is part of Nice Globe and kind of qualified to up to basic levels, in this world of penalties, they get some extra freight. That won't happen, but that can be a wish list as well. Probably it is something where I see, and Pravin ji, you also can look in.
You are from the transporter side or from?
Sir, I'm representing my transport company, Prem Cargo Movers. So that is why my most questions are from that side.
Thank you very much. So we are getting into the transport or contractor audit, right? Transporter audit. Okay, I mean, I just need to tell you one thing. We recognize and reward the performance of the transporters, and we rate and rank the performance. It's available in our web page. Any member company can go and see for themselves. So first thing is that it's not that your performance is not being captured or recognized. It is being captured and recognized. That's the first point. The second point is basically we are getting into an audit process in terms of your process, operations, performance, and structure. The idea behind it is not to disqualify somebody. The idea is to strengthen the standards and unify the process across the industry. Right? So, which you will see soon from our side, basically where we will be coming out and doing this audit process to identify the gaps in your own operations, if any, and work with you in terms of trying to find answers and probably how we can improve together. So that's something which is an initiative which we are taking.
One last question, sir, from your side.
To Mr. Shanker again. So yeah, Nicer Globe we are using, and I must say it is a fantastic platform.
Thank you.
I'm coming on the other side, we talk about driver training and everything. One quick example, there was one urgent shipment and my colleagues, they were following with the transporter. It got escalated to me. I called up the driver. He said, sir, gali mat dena. So my question to you is to the end user, what kind of training you are giving to see how to handle the driver properly? Because end of the day, everybody is a human. So we also need to address that. So is Nicer Globe doing that? If not, what are the measures you're going to do?
Okay, I think let's. It's a journey, right? Let's face it. It's a journey, right? The very fact I think Paresh mentioned that we called the driver to recognize. When all the business leaders, the government representatives were all there at that point of time when we did this. Now, it's basically giving dignity to the labor and respecting the service and the contribution that he makes for us. It's a beginning from there. And second, we have to be inclusive. I think Pravin said collaborative, inclusive, etc. It's not about company, you, me. It's about the driver as well. We need to be inclusive of him. So it's a journey which we need to take it forward. Basically, this is not something which is very common in India, and we don't value labor. Let's face it, we don't value labor. So that's the reason, Captain Pankaj keeps complaining that we don't get adequate return for the cost for the service which you provide. So we should start recognizing the service, we should start appreciating the value that the people bringing in, and we should start celebrating and rewarding them. That's the beginning. Naturally, that process will transition in terms of giving him the due respect what he deserves.
So, your last.
Yeah, I just want to add something here. Basically, this is not somebody should tell either from transporter side or from someone who is just creating a collaborative platform. This is something from a culture of an organization, how they treat people. This is not driver. This is if somebody is doing this with the outside supplier, driver or something. So definitely you can accept the same culture maybe within the organization itself. Because driver is also one of us. So we should treat him with the dignity and this is something which is the culture, because we should respect all whatsoever, irrespective of their role and their designation.